Hello and welcome to Flory Models Friday Roundup Show. Here we are with you on the 24th of January 2025. Busy week this week. Obviously we were pushed on last week really heavily to get the Nimrod done and out of the way, which we'll show you in a moment, and then obviously getting on with new projects. But also this week I've been doing a couple of reviews. We got Tool Tuesday came back in, and then obviously those horrible things like VAT and all that rubbishy paperwork which I hate doing at this time of the year, getting all of that sorted and tucked away and put to bed as well. So quite busy from that point of view. Big news obviously was that the forum changed over to its new style, or old style, or whichever way you want to go with it. Anyway, it's in there. It's no longer the weird tiley thing that everyone used to get lost around. Now we've got that sort of more traditional looking forum down in here now, with everything else, as you can imagine, going through loads of different categories and things. Obviously, as you know, we got rid of a load of old categories. I've amalgamated a few categories and brought them together. Just to say at the top here, this is probably the 6 most used ones on here. So you've got your announcements, the daily shows and vlogs. That's where all those are. Obviously all the video builds, you know, all the payware ones, if you like, behind the actual barrier, they're all in there. Obviously the modeling chat area, what arrived in your house, because it's always very popular, that one. And obviously the Q&A questions and answers and things like that for all the live shows that we do. Then further down, obviously, you've got the new sort of members area. We've got the modeling chat area. We've got the gallery area, because obviously that's very important as well. And then we've got the work in progresses that make its way through. And then obviously we go down into the actual group builds and 6 again. So it's pretty much as it was. It's just a slightly different layout. And to be honest with you, I've had nothing but positive feedback on this one. So I think everybody's found the way. We have got a couple of small little teething problems with it, which we hope to get fixed obviously within the next week. But again, they're only little small things and probably doesn't affect 99% of you. Are all fine with it. But if you are wondering, if you have got a problem, just shoot me a private message and you can get hold of me like that. Please don't use the live chat jobby down the bottom here. The trouble with this thing is that I don't have it on very often and it doesn't save anything. So that's the problem. If it's an email, I've got it, I can go back and do it. As soon as I read it, it disappears. So from that point of view, it can be a little bit of a pain. So don't use this chat system as well, the live chat. Just send me an actual message, all right? So the easiest way to do that, as we often said on these things, is to literally just pop along and find me anywhere, because you know me, I'll be around. But literally, if you just pop into, you know, obviously just pick any of the ones, because I start all the categories down here, click on my name at the top, and then I come out and you can just message or email me. All right, so you can do that straight away, and then that's the easiest way to find you. And also this works the same if you want to talk to other members. All right, you can just either message them and that becomes a direct message on the site, or obviously you can do it via an email. But the thing is, if you go through and use that other one down at the bottom for the live chat, it's if you see it. If you don't see it and then I log off or something, then the message is lost and I never even knew you sent it. So although it's great for live chatting back and forth, it's not very good for, you know, actually a proper message and things like that. All right. Anyway, hopefully you found your way round in here right the way through. So remember, all the live shows and all the daily bits and pieces are in here, and now they're all down in order, one behind the other. Obviously they're done. And then obviously if you go to the, let me just bring it back here, go to the video builds. The top one is pinned, so that is the current one that's ongoing at the moment. So it's pinned at the moment because obviously we've got the Nimrod as we're going through. So speaking of the Nimrod, that started. The next part was part 5. That went up to you on Monday. So we're out with the old cling film, going around with the cling wrap on this one. So we were pretty much happy with how it all went down and how the paint was going and things like that. So it was time to actually get this thing masked up now. So we masked it up, usual pinstriping technique right the way through. We had to make some sort of curve masks and things like that. So I did use the old circle cutter for that particular one, just to make semicircles, so nice rounded off edges and ends and things like that. Masked up totally, got the old cling film out, and then we could get in with spraying the white. Now spraying the white is the nemesis of many a modeler, including myself. So I do tend to do that thing of just whack it on. All right, so the first coat is always quite thick, so that really just sludges it on, and then after that, thin coats that help settle it down and melt it down and all the rest of it. All right, and then once that was done, after about 3 or 4 coats over the space of like half a day, it was time to unmask and see exactly what we got. So at the same time, we did some of the painting work underneath, got all of those sorted, go through all the rigmarole, getting all the tape all off of it, and we ended up with something which we were quite happy with. All right, so I'm happy with the color and everything as it went with that one, so that was pretty good. Then we turned our attention to decaling. And to be honest with you, that's exactly where it all fell apart. Because yes, let's just simply say there was a few F words, expletives, and naughty language was said trying to put these decals down. And I know I've spoken to the membership; they would have heard this all week. I've been rabbing on, 2 weeks really, rabbing on about them and all the rest of it. But they are truly awful. These are Airfix's old ones, so not Cartograph, nothing like that. The trouble with them is there's no adhesion to them whatsoever. So even when I was doing things like the wash going onto this, and we had the wash on and off and things, it was to that point where it was actually seeping underneath. So it was getting underneath the decals because there's no adhesion to hold them down. And the other thing was when I was drying them off with an airbrush, they were flying off because there's literally nothing on. So what I ended up doing was coming along, and we actually basically glossed these down. So coat of gloss and then stick the decal to the gloss and then gloss on top, and then that nailed these things down. And again, it was only really these two big roundels on here, but they're quite opaque. They're not the best looking ones either. You can probably see on these down in here and all the rest of it. But anyway, I am happy to report it is done. The final part will be up with you on Monday, and hopefully it'll be winging its way to its new home very, very soon. It's off to a museum, this one. So okay, that's why it's not weathered particularly or anything else like that, just a little bit, just to show it nice and tidy and clean. But that classic lines of the Nimrod, I think, have really, really shone through with this. And also, we have our new stands, which, watch this space, they'll be coming to, it's got dust on the bottom, coming to a store near you. All right, so we've got our new lock system for this as well, which I will talk about more. But basically, these are angles. You can have them at 15 degrees, port and starboard, 10 degrees and 5 degrees. And then we've got a 5 degrees nose up as well, or we've got a normal flat one. All right, but there we go. That's it. Again, it's that thing. The kit itself, I can't fault. Yes, it needs dry fitting. Yes, there is some fit issues, but nothing really bad. Not as bad as you perhaps would read online. I didn't really have any problems with it. What it really just came down to was like doing the paintwork and obviously with the decals. And say, I was one of these people, I say things and like, why did you ever say that? But it was it. I said, why would you spend good money on aftermarket decals when you've got them in the box? Yes. Has never eating humble pie crossed my mind as much as it is done. I am full on that little particular comment, because what I should have done clearly is spent 15 quid on a set of decals and probably saved me 2 days in work and time and effing and jeffing because it wasn't working out very well and all the rest of it. Anyway, they are on now. The only thing I would say, and if anybody's got any answers, I'd love to hear you down in the comments, so please comment down below. But like we were saying, it's great if you just need replacement roundels and markings, because aftermarket kit manufacturers do that, decal manufacturers do that. But what about all the things like walkways and those types of things as well? You know, and I know it's a bit of an arse because, let's face it, you know, decal manufacturers, especially the smaller companies, you know, it gets expensive doing extra bits as well, I know. But again, it's one of those things. Maybe just having like the walkways would help, and a few other little bits and pieces, and like the rescue markings as well in the actual set. Now, I'm acutely aware for things like F-16s, I've seen them for Phantoms, you can get aftermarket, all the stencil data for them, but just general kits as well. I think that would be a help, especially in this day and age now where more and more of us are building stuff from our stash. You know, and I hate to think I've got the TSR2 down in there. I'm never going to use those decals, but then I'm concerned because all the sort of, you know, walkway stuff and bits and pieces, what do you do then? Unless you're going to actually hand paint all of those on board or fudge it a little bit. So again, it would be nice if decal manufacturers sometimes, if they were doing like ones for the Nimrod, put in a few of the extra bits, because now they're getting old and tired, these kits, and the decals are, you know, it would be a fantastic if you could have it in there. It's just got all the basics you need. You know, I'm not saying that you need like 3 versions of and everything, just one of them all on with 3 versions of decals. That would suit me absolutely fine. Anyway, it is done. Like I said before, it is off to a nice museum. It's off to Malta, this one. So it'll be lovely to see that one when it gets there. Hopefully it'll get there in one bit. But yeah, really, really nice. And again, doing it in flight, something that me and John have been working on for the last couple of months, is our new in-flight stands. It is available in different sizes as well. This is the sort of the normal size one, but we do a bigger one and a smaller one. All right, but yeah, be coming to a place near you as well. So anyway, that one is done. The final part will be up with you guys on Monday. And again, it's a bit of a longer, it's like 50 minutes because I didn't want to split it into 2. So we've got that one done and out of the way. So that's going on quite nicely. This week then, it was one of those weeks where we were pretty much on with it all over the place. So Tuesday, Tall Tuesday made a return. And again, this is one of those ones where, if I chop through here, this particular review is a standalone video as well. So that has gone up live now on YouTube. So if you want to know where it is on YouTube, and it is on the site as well. You can go off and find that in a minute. But for the moment, it's just for this particular one. But anyway, it's looking at the Dispays angle cutter. And again, this is one of those things where I know you're going to get the haters out there. Oh, I'm not paying their money. It costs a fortune and it's overpriced and you can do it for half the price. I've done all that and I've got all the cheap stuff for it. I wanted to treat myself, and I actually bought this. This is my purchase. All right. To have something where it's a little bit more precise. You know, so when we're cutting and doing angles, especially if you're doing greebly work and small work and it's repetitive, you need the same square, you need everything. This way, you've got your little jig down in here. And if I move this along a bit, I can show doing it. So yeah, that way you can just pop it down and we can go through and just click it down each time and you get exactly the same. So if you're doing lots of repetitive work of the same thing, you can, because you can set up the little guide, poke them all in and away you go. All right. So again, does all your angles, all your joins and everything else. There was a couple of questions people have asked about chopping bigger things. So yes, I did have a go with doing some I-beams with it. Obviously the really thick stuff, it doesn't like, I'll be honest with you, it doesn't like the big heavy duty I-beams, but the smaller ones, it's no problem at all. So in thickness of cutting, it's happy to go through, you know, pipes and tubes and things like that. Pretty much, I would say up to sort of, you know, 5 to 6 mil, no problem at all. After that, you've really got to put some weight in it. And I think you'd be better off cutting it with a saw. Just saying on that one, a razor saw would do probably a better job. This is more for the more delicate stuff right the way through, but definitely a handy little piece of kit. And it's so good. I even cut myself open doing the demo on this. And so, yeah, but no, really, really handy. And I'm glad I've got it now. This is one of those tools which, no, I won't use it all the time, but when you need it, it'll be so much better. It'll be quicker, faster, and more accurate in your cuts and joins and things like that as well. So really is a very, very nice bit of kit. Anyway, you can go off and see the standalone review of this. I will link it down in the show notes down below if you want to see that one. Anyway, all about Tool Tuesday. We're talking about that. We're talking about other bits and pieces and obviously some other stuff. We've got those cutters down in there. We were talking about the Nimrod of how I was fighting with that and getting it sorted. We were talking about the stands, and obviously we were talking about the forum because it only went live that morning. Okay, over on to Wednesday. Again, this is one of those ones where it's all slightly out of sync for everybody else, but the members will know what I mean. So we were basically did the vlog and we were talking all things really Larsen and about this kit by Nimrod. I've done such a fantastic job with it. It's a really, really nice kit. The level of detail and finesse down in these, which you'll see in a moment, is on another chart. And I was harping and singing and remissing and all the usual things I do and having a chat about this particular kit in this one. All right. So you can go off members. You can see that one now. That is up there just now. Last night, we had the live members show. All right. So it's me, Matt and John on last night. So we're looking at everything that we've all been up to as well. John was doing a little bit of live unboxing as well. So he's had some deliveries came in, some very, very nice ones. He had the Buccaneer turn up, got that at a good price. And again, a kit that's currently unavailable. It's not on the list at the moment is the Blenheim. So again, he's up to Airfix this year, all the way through. Obviously, I was talking about what I was building. Nathan was talking about what he was building. We were having a good look around the forum and going through things like that as well, and having a look at all of your great work in there from the current group builds and SIGs that are going on at the moment, and some really, really nice stuff down in there as well. Some very, very nice builds in there. And then we was going through and answering your questions as well, and all the usual bits and pieces. And then we were guest invited afterwards. Mr. Matt joined us for the last minute of the show as well. All right. So that's up there. And obviously yesterday you got the review of the actual Larsen went up for members as well. So speaking of that particular kit, it is this beauty. And I was really harping on about it because I'm blown away with the level of detail down on this particular kit. It's really, really nice. The decals are gorgeous. They're beautiful, just, you know, cartograph through and through. The instructions, pretty easy to follow, but being mini art, it looks pretty complicated because that is a very comprehensive build. And because of the corrugated nature of this stuff, it's in multi-parts all the way through, which you'll see in a moment. But again, it looks fantastic. The engine detail and things like that is absolutely stunning. The wings, because you do wings on and off this thing. And then obviously with the markings on it, I love the Japanese ones. I think that's with the version I'll be doing. Looks very, very nice. Good chunk of photo etch down in there. The clear parts are beautiful as well. But really, it's all about this corrugated skin effect that this thing's got and how Mini Art have tackled it. And boy, I was blown away because that's me in the old macro mode. And it is amazing. Having riveting in amongst the corrugated detail is absolutely stunning. And when you go right into it, they are clean, crisp all the way through. And again, it's one of those things with the naked eye, you don't really appreciate the level of work that goes into this kit, but it is something on another level. So anyway, I'm going to be building this kit in a few weeks' time. So if you want to see this thing come together, I'm really, really looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun, this particular kit, and it's nicely detailed right the way through. And again, some nice options with the wings folded, well, not folded, but on or off. The engine looks fantastic, but the detail on the inside is just as good as what's on the outside as well. So again, if you want to have a look at that particular review, it is up on YouTube now, or just pop to the reviews area down on the actual Flory model site. If you pop in here, I have upgraded it as well. We've now got the Latiki area, and we've got the Magic Factory area been added into these as well. And obviously with the tools, if you click on tools, obviously down in there, you've got the standalone video for the cutter as well, plus about all the other tools that we've done. I haven't done many tools of late, as you can see, because like this one's on very old video, but all the other ones, if it'll ever load through these, because there's literally hundreds, here they all come, down in there as well. So again, going back in time with some of them, but some very, very nice ones all the way through. So if you want to have a look at those ones or any of the hundreds of reviews we've got on there, as I say, you can just go through the newest ones just down on these pages, or just click on the actual manufacturer. So if you click on Airfix, hopefully it will take you over to these ones, and then just click on these ones. These are the newer types, and you get the high-res photos with all the instructions and all your other bits down in there as well. All right, so you can save and copy those to your heart content. All right, so all of those ones down in there. As for what I'm up to currently, because obviously clearly we've got all this stuff going on at the moment, I am currently working on, seeing this one will be making a return soon-ish, next week-ish. But yes, I'm working on the Ornithopter, which if you don't know what it is and you've never seen Dune, basically it's a dragonfly that's a ship, or an aircraft, shall we say. But again, it's one of those ones, it took my eye, and it really is very, very nice indeed. So I've been working on this one, and I've just done all the flappy bits. I don't know the correct term for these. Is it a rotor? Because it doesn't rotate. And is it a wing? I suppose it must be a wing. So yeah, anyway, 8 wings, because it's got 4 on each side on this one. The gunship version just has the one missing on each side. But yeah, again, it's a click fit kit. It's, pretty much shake and bake. As I say, I haven't done any glue onto this whatsoever so far. So we've done a little bit of crew work. We've got the crew down in there. There we go. You can just about see them in there. I've done all of that. And again, this has got no glue on anyway. It's got some seams and stuff. So we're going to do these. At the moment, I haven't glued any of this. This is literally all just a push fit together. So what I've literally done is just been going around putting it in as we go like that. And as I say, you've got the flappy things down in here, all right, and everything. And again, it's all going to be about the painting and weathering on this. But if you're not particularly much of a builder, these are great, because again, it's all push fit, and you don't have to, go through the motions of doing it all and all the rest of it. But yeah, no, it should be good. But I'm going to come in soon, and we're going to fill all of these, take care of these seams, make sure it's all nice before it goes into primer and stuff like that. So yeah, very, very nice. Something a little bit different. And as I said, what's really nice and refreshing about it, it's almost like a speed build with it. If you wanted to, you could put that together without paint and all the rest of it in an afternoon, because it is literally like that. And again, if you've got a nice pair of good God hands, or, something like the Display nips and stuff, you don't even have to do any part cleanup, because it is that close and just goes in. Think Bandai. But anyway, part 1 of that will be up in around about 2 weeks. All right, so I'm going to push through with that one. That one's going to be quite a quick build, because there's not a lot to it. I'm thinking by part 1 it will be built, put it like that, and then part 2, 3 and 4, that'll be more about the painting and weathering and trying to get that nice dust effect and all those types of things into it as well. So yeah, having a lot of fun with that particular one. Other things, obviously over in the store, had a bit of a restock, but it's gone out very, very quickly, and some people have messaged me about this. But again, I will be getting a restock hopefully soon of the cutters. Will be back in, all right, as plus everything else, and some other bits and pieces of display as well. All right, Kareen's sending me that one over as we speak. All right, so we've got some more stuff coming in shortly. Plus the fact I've got a restock of the pigments and some of the merch items coming in as well. But apart from that, we've got all your washes and all your other bits and pieces, as always, on the Flory Models store. Over on the PM store, Obviously, the model kits are back in, and there's some of the new ones. So we've got the Black Hawk as well. So if you want to see that one, we've got that Osprey, which I just finished just before Christmas as well. And again, we've got that JL.6 as well. So again, if you want to grab yourself one of those, they are available now up on the store. Plus, I've got some other nice little kits and bargains, like the Intruder's a nice kit. Obviously, we've got the Sea King if you want not the Westland one. This is the Sikorsky Sea King. And again, we've got the Former in now. So if you want to grab any of those ones, you can do. And don't forget, we've got the specials area. So we're clearing out all the old lines we've said before. So we've got your paints and some glues and some tools and things in there where we're trying to make room for some new stock. All right. Plus the fact we've got a huge restock of AK came in today. So we've got real stock of the actual markers. I don't know if it's actually been done yet. There we go. So they are back in stock as well and been put in. Apparently we haven't got any rubber black though, but the other ones are all back in stock now. So if you want to get any of those ones, you can do. And again, we've got the sets back in, but they are limited availability. We haven't got that many of them. All right. So if you want to grab any of the fantastic markers from AK, you can do. They are up on the site right now. And that is about it for this week. So we haven't actually done a members roundup video for last week because obviously we had the group build B reveal. I'm currently working on the other one as well, the giant one, which is like 170. Hopefully that will be up next week. So this one is actually 2 weeks worth that you're going to get now. All right. So that's going to be up just after when I stop talking. Anyway, don't forget, you can get the reviews. You can get obviously the ones on the chopper as well. And the JL6 is up there as well. And again, members, the final part of the Nimrod will be up with you on Monday morning as well, if you want to catch up with that one. And then I'll be cracking on with this little Junie thing all next week as well. So that's about it from me. As always on a Friday, I'm going to leave you with your great work from the gallery. Happy modelling. Take care.
I'm wasted. My heart grows heavy. Don't taste me rushing and keep your words naked. You got me blushing. And you forever I'll follow. You'll be my holy ground. You forever I'll follow. Through a ghost town, alone and stranded. Why leave me hoping and guessing for the answers? No place stays forbidden. And you forever I'll follow. You'll be my holy ground. You forever I'll follow. Guessing for the answer.